For over 20 years, bringing you extraordinary entertainment. This is Extraordinary Entertainment. This is the Extraordinary Network. Live from Atlanta, Georgia, with your host, Chris, Rachàd, Jeremy, Summer, and Najee. This is Extraordinary Unplugged. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome to another edition of Extraordinary Unplugged. I am Christopher S. Walker.
And I'm Jeremy Scott. I am having a different setup.
You having some technical issues.
Not really, but just getting acclimated to my setup.
What's going on, Style by Stevie? What's up, Stevie? Yeah, so again, welcome everybody. Welcome to Extraordinary
Welcome.
Unplugged. Welcome. We hope that you all are having an amazing start to your week. And welcome to and continue being in the twilight zone that we have been in for the past couple of months. Um, anyway, we have Summer will be joining us shortly. Um, as well, Rachàd is out this evening, as well as Najee. So me, Summer, and Jeremy will be holding it down tonight. So to you all, make sure that you like, follow, share the Extraordinary Network with all of your friends and family and whoever else you want to have watch. Um, and also too, because we want to make sure that everybody continues to watch the show. So if you're watching on YouTube, make sure that you hit that like button and also subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet, and also share this with your people as well. So we can have more people watch the show as well. Um, Jeremy, you about ready over there?
I am. I'm trying this new setup, this new lighting, and all of this.
All that good, all that hoopla, as they say.
Yeah, I look right. What is that? Okay, that's good. Is that
Look,
better?
look, we all gonna get it together. We all gonna get it together. We always try to make sure that we give you guys the best presentation that we can possibly give you each and every week. Because if it's Tuesday, it is Extraordinary Unplugged.
Hey,
Yes,
how was your
indeed.
week?
This has been a very interesting week, to say the least. You know, to say it's been a very busy week, to say that as well. On top of that, but it's also been a very productive week as well too. How about yours?
Uh, it's been great.
That's
You
awesome. That's
know,
awesome.
another day's journey. That's all I'm saying.
And that's where it is. That is exactly what it is. Another day's journey, but you know what? We're here. And we're making it happen, and
We here, we queer. Get used to
exactly, exactly. So.
it.
So with that said, I did want to bring to everyone's attention that happened or transpired this past weekend. We do want to give our condolences to Georgia's own um, Angie Stone. Um, I just, it was very, it was, this one hit me kind of hard because I met her a few years ago, and I was at a charitable function, and she was there. She was actually hosting the charitable function, and they was doing some auctions as well with the charity function. And she was hosting that. and it was my first time and only time meeting her. But she was an amazing person, and very sweet person as well too. So I definitely give want to give my condolences to her family, and to her loved ones as well. Like I said, this one definitely hit me hard, just because I had the opportunity of meeting this legend, and and things of that nature. Jeremy, did you want to have anything that you wanted to say about Angie?
I loved Angie Stone's music. I really enjoyed. There's one particular song of hers that I listen to very often,
Hmm.
and it's called "Happy Being Me," and it's such a vibe. I don't know. I'm hearing an echo now. You
Yeah,
hear
I
me?
am too. There is a slight echo.
I that helped. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, Angie Stone has the Happy Being Me song. It's such a groove and a vibe, but it's such a positive message about accepting what life throws at you and
Hmm.
like accepting yourself. And I mean, I've been grooving to it for years, but I like our music to be quite honest. That first album was a groove.
Yes,
Um,
yes, she has some good music. Hey, Rachel, how are you?
and she's a great writer. I didn't know she did the girlfriend's theme song, and I
No,
love
I
that.
didn't know. No, I didn't know that one though, Jeremy. You taught me something new on
Hey
that one. That was
Rachel,
nice.
ooh my girl, that's the jam. That's everybody's song. So when that came on, it just and then the manner, not to disrespect her passing, but the
Hmm.
manner in which it happened was very odd and suspicious and just, I mean, all of the things. I was watching, I did a deep dive. Uh, like I wasn't expecting to do a deep dive, but I did one.
Hmm.
And about like her and her music royalties and all that kind of stuff. And
Hmm.
for there to be a eight people in the accident and her the only one that passed away, and then just the details. It's very unsettling. But rest in peace, Angie Stone. Thank you for the timeless music that I will carry with me every day because
Yes.
I listen to that song and it just makes me feel so at peace. Thank you for that. And I wish you well on your next journey.
Exactly, exactly. Like I said, she will be missed. Such a true legend. Stevie had said Black Diamond, that album is on heavy rotation with her. So, um, yeah, so definitely, again, condolences to the family. And it's like you just said too, Jeremy, it was very odd of the passing of her being the only one in that vehicle that passed away. I thought that was still very odd to me, as well. Um, Still kind of I'm still trying to wrap my mind around that, of how so many people were in a vehicle. I mean, that all got injured except for her being the only one that passed away.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And the accolades are timeless. She was the first, she was involved in rap and, the first female rap group to go gold. And like just upon reading her accolades, a lot of the time you don't find out what people have done till they dead. So
Right.
it was wonderful to know that she had been involved in all of these wonderful things. And um, we gonna miss you, sis.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. I do know that they are planning on doing a memorial service for all of her fans. I believe it's going to be here in Georgia, if I'm not mistaken. So once we get more information on that, we will make sure that we share that with our viewers, as well. So then all of our viewers can that do live here in Georgia, or whatnot, will have that opportunity to go. Stevie said it reminds of Lisa Left Eye Lopez of TLC when she passed the same way. We're losing our music icons. That is true. It does kind of make you think of that as well too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So again, once we get word or information about the memorial service, we will make sure to share that with you all, to our viewers. Until then, make sure that you all stay tuned to our show as we move on into our actual show for tonight. So Jeremy, are you ready for this evening's?
I am. Let's get into it.
All right, let's go ahead and jump into our topics for this evening.
Anything your dreams come true. That's the one that's gonna do it too.
All right, let's go ahead and get into this evening's topics. I didn't do that for a second time, but anyway, we have our first topic for this evening. We have uh, the shenanigans with Escape with LaTocha Scott, if I'm not mistaken. Um, so LaTocha Scott uh, requests residuals redemption after ending 30-year marriage. Kandi Burruss and Tamika Scott call cap. They're still together. So we'll dig into that as well. We also have uh, Karen Hugar, Real Housewife Karen Hugar, sentenced to jail for DUI crash as well. And then we also have, which a topic that we didn't get a chance to discuss last week. Hold on, if I'm not mistaken, I'm going too fast. We also have Megan Thee Stallion is reportedly involving Tory Lanez in additional legal action. And then we also have a topic, like I said, this topic that we didn't get a chance to get to last week, with the entire Alabama police force put on leave after grand jury recommends its abolition. And then we also have the foolishness that went on last, what was that, last Thursday or last Friday, if I'm not mistaken. Orange, as I call him, and Zelensky meeting turns into a heated argument. So we'll get into that as well. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and jump into our first topic of tonight, and that will be LaTocha Scott requests residuals redemption after ending 30-year marriage. Kandi Burruss and Tamika Scott called cap. They're still together. So we're gonna go ahead and get into this topic right here. We do have some comments.
Well, oh, you got a video or something?
No, there's actually, yes, I do. I'm sorry. Yes, I do. Tanya says, so many things you did not know. She was amazing. Yes, yes, she was. Angie Stone was definitely amazing.
Yes.
Um, let's see. Stevie says Latasha and Edward still in hands, still married. We know. Right. Definitely that. But yeah, we have a video for this particular topic. Let me go ahead and get myself back to where I was. So we can go ahead and jump into that video for this particular topic. Um, let's see if I can find the video. Let's see. Look, when I tell you, when you have so many things that you have set up everywhere, it's like crazy. But anyway, here's the first video. Here's the one with Kandi. Let's see what Kandi had to say.
So our Residuals freestyle dropped yesterday. That was a little controversial. Can we expect an Xscape reunion anytime soon?
I think she said it best in her. I think she addressed the issues with her personal life, or the issues with her family, and then us. She mentioned us a little bit. I feel like fix what's happening in the family, and then it could be a talk about what's going on with us. Because realistically, I thought it was a little untruth talking about you got kicked out. When you get kicked out, I don't know about that. I don't that didn't necessarily, that wasn't true. But I do think there was some issues that, some decisions on her part that made it to where, we ain't doing enough. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it's kind of like you said you didn't want to do no shows with us, so
We gotta get our money.
we just continue doing what we're supposed to be doing. And I think the stuff that's going on with the family is what made it hard to rekindle anything else. That's just my personal opinion, but it really ain't, whatever.
Ah, I Jeremy, you got any thoughts on that?
Well, you already know that I am Jeremy Tamika Scott. Mama, you know they stole my money. I abhor LaTocha.
Mm-hmm.
because it's so orchestrated and it's so empty. Like
Mm-hmm.
you already know that this lady is just her solo career did not work out the way that she planned on it. So now she has to go back to part two where she's trying to get money because this is the way she supports her living, and she just seems so insincere. And it's unfortunate that her sister is involved in it and Kandi is involved
What's
in
going
it,
on,
but
Summer?
it's hey Summer, it's so
Hey,
insincere.
sorry about that technical difficulty I was having.
Oh no, you're
it,
fine.
it's it's so insincere the way LaTocha is like, acting like she's the victim in all of this. I can't stand a villain and a victim. You cannot be both. You are antagonizing these people, and you have been for the past 30 years, girl. Leave leave them out of it. Like, I feel so bad for Kandi. Candy's a lot of things, but she seems very sincere to me. And it's just like, what does that lady have to gain by lying on you and how you moving? And I hate that the sisters' relationship has become what it is because it's clearly some selfishness going on, and it's like her solo career didn't happen the way that she wants to, so now she has to move back to Plan C because Plan A was Escape, Plan B was the solo, and now Plan C is scavenging for whatever. And like Tamika said, girl, if you want to talk, pull up, let's have a conversation, but that's not her intent,
But
clearly.
but let me tell you this, Jeremy. I actually did have a conversation. Matter of fact, I got word here. Let me go back to it because they actually did. They actually had a conversation, and from what I was reading um, in the article that I was reading upon, they actually had a really great conversation, to say the least. Um, let's see. I want to make sure that I got this together. Summer, give your piece on it first while I look this up real quick and give your thoughts on it as well too.
Absolutely. So I actually saw multiple different things on this topic. Initially, of course, we all saw the cover that Latasha did. And at the end of that, when she was like, we're gonna talk about those residuals, I was really unclear about what she meant if she wasn't speaking on the residuals that her sister is owed. So I think Tamika was on the Breakfast Club and they were interviewing her regarding what's going on between when that song was released or that
Mhm.
video or whatever. And Tamika said her phone number hasn't changed, just like Jeremy said, pull up, all these things. And that she was kind of pushing the narrative, Latasha was, that she had broken up with the husband and had come to some understanding of the truth. And so, thus, that's why she wanted to have that topic with her sister so that they could rectify that whole situation. But
Exactly.
that didn't really happen because just as Tamika said, they have mutual friends. They have people that know them, and her husband's still coming around now. As far as marriage is concerned, it's really nobody's business if the couple stays together or not. But from Tamika's perspective, if you're saying that you weren't the one who stole from me and your husband did, I would expect you to hold that husband accountable because I'm your sister. Why would you let somebody steal $30,000 from your family like that? That just sounds like you're in cahoots with, making sure that that happened. Or at the time, you weren't worried about it or thought it wasn't going to get found out. But in addition to that, I don't like Jeremy said, the way that she continues to blame Kandi as if
Hmm.
Kandi is the boss of the whole group. Kandi is not influencing every one of them members to see it her side because if you watch the R&B Divas, or I think it was R&B Divas, where they were on the show with SWV, and they were having to go into these negotiations. Latasha has for the entire direction of their career had a terrible attitude.
Hmm.
She has always wanted to be a solo artist. She has always been extremely offended when anyone else besides her got any credit for singing any lead roles or
making things sound good or got any recognition, because she feels like, as everyone has said, that she's the Beyonce of the group. She feels like she's the best singer, even though her sister has an absolutely beautiful voice. She doesn't even give her own sister the credit, who's been defending her this entire time. I just feel like whatever receipts that LaTocha is claiming to have, because she said specifically Tamika has receipts and she has receipts.
Mm-hmm.
Tamika produced her receipts
Mm.
and showed everybody. This is where he signed my name on said check. This is where the money, my email address was changed. My where the money's supposed to come. All of those parts of what I had filled out were changed to all of their information. So if I have a receipt for that, I would love to know what receipts LaTocha has, which she has failed to produce. And in addition to that, when she was interviewed, I saw that video today. When she was interviewed, she claimed that she just didn't want to speak on whether um she was back with the husband or not, because she said she felt like that was her personal business. But sweetheart, honey, sugar bun, we didn't tell you to put that in the cover that you weren't with him. So if that was a private matter, it should have been left private, in my opinion. How are you going to put it in a song and then expect fans not to have any questions regarding that?
Exactly.
So I just
Exactly.
think she's a liar.
No, and you know what? I did see here with them not have been speaking for 2 years. She said in a interview, if I'm not mistaken, she said that we had our first talk in 2 years. So that's what music does. She stated it was a good talk. It was a really good talk that she had with her sister. So I'm guessing, from here on out, this is a good starting point that they are at least speaking. Um, but like Kandi had said, pretty much what Kandi had said, you've never been thrown out the group. But my thing is too, do y'all remember back when they were on tour? Then they had to do like that little bit of a tour or whatnot. Correct me if I'm wrong, but they were on like a little tour, and I remember seeing them perform, and there were a little bit of distance between her and the rest of Xscape. Do y'all remember that, right?
Yeah, sometimes it just, you shouldn't make concessions for narcissists. You
Hmm.
should not make concessions, because then they're just going to move on to do something different. That's still self-serving. It's just frustrating. I hope they figure it out. Um, as for me and my house, I'm never gonna be listening to LaTocha's music. I think she has a beautiful voice, but the toxicity of the woman herself is just like, I don't even want that energy. And how you gonna talk about? I hate when you. I offer keeping stuff private,
Hmm.
but you can't put out something and make all these accusations and say all these things and then say it's private. Girl, well then go away from me. Go, sit down. Go then. So what you bring it up for if you ain't want to talk about it? Like, be quiet then.
That would be my thing too. Why would you bring something up? Why would you bring something up and then not want to talk about it again? That doesn't make sense to
Mm-hmm.
me. Make it make sense. I've always been that. Make it make sense. Um,
And
because
Chris, I have just been through something
hmm
where a family member stole so much money from me
hmm
and just lied and manipulated. And it is the pain is beyond explanation, because you love your family so deeply. You
right.
would never think that they would do something rotten to you. But then when it happens, you're in such a rock and a hard place, because you have to take care of yourself, but you
Hmm.
also have to honor the commitments you've made to your family. And it pulls you in so many directions. I'm lifting Tamika up, because I can't imagine if that's what she know they stole. Imagine what she don't know. You
We
know.
actually have a little clip of what she had said with Big Tigger. So let's check out what she had to say.
Perfect.
Was to the challenge.
I'm sure you're gonna.
What's your response to that, and have you spoken to her?
Listen, like I said, when you're singing and you're coming from your heart, it reaches the heart. Yeah. I was able to reach my sister through that song. So I'm grateful for just that interview alone, because as soon as I heard it, I was like, I gotta call. I literally picked up the phone to call her. We had our first talk in 2 years.
Wow.
So that's what music does, and that's what
I'm just happy right now that we were able
Yeah.
to talk last night.
Was
It
it a
was
good talk?
amazing. It was a good talk.
Okay.
It was a really good talk.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's basically just clarifying what we had already discussed about what she, how she had said she had that talk with her sister. Um, I'm just interested to see where this takes them. I'm interested to see where it goes, and things of that nature. So I really am. Stevie says LaTocha gives very much Kim Burrell energy. Very nice, nasty.
Totally agree with that, Steve. Totally do. I just still don't believe Latoya until Tamika confirms they had that conversation.
Right.
Because even when she said, "Baby, we gonna talk about them residuals," like, and then Tamika said she has not even called my phone. She ain't
Huh.
came by my house. So for me, I just feel like Latasha, her sister knows her very well, and I believe her sister put called it what it was. She tried to say all those things to get viral, and she went viral so that everybody could know that she had another album coming out that we ain't gonna buy. And it's not because she's not talented. It's just that people have to understand that being an artist is more than having talent. You
Yes.
have to be able to be worked with. You have to be reliable. You have to be dedicated, especially if you're in a group. You can't every 2 weeks be talking about you going your own way. And if you look at any of the history of that group, Latasha has always felt like she needed to be a solo artist and she did not need them. But
Exactly.
when the coins have not, like, I believe Rocky told her that she could have all those things, and then he couldn't make it happen.
Mm, you got a good point on that, though, Summer. Right there, you definitely hit a good point on that. And that's another thing too. When somebody feels like they are they feel like they're so much higher than the rest of the other artists that are a part of the group, and that's another issue too, because everybody already has egos of their own. But then when you sit there and you factor in trying to make your ego be so much bigger than everybody else's, then that becomes another huge issue as well. So,
Well, I think Oprah said it the best, and she said you cannot be friends with people who are jealous of you. And
mm,
sometimes jealousy is so uneven. Like Latasha is such a beautiful singer. She's a great vocalist.
hmm
For her, just think about how Kandi could have been instrumental in her solo career. Kandi wrote huge hits for people. She could have clearly aided Latasha in her career. But when you jealous of Kandi, and let's call a spade, her big ass was in that group with those people. And she was jealous of them in the way that they looked. That can't exist in a group where synergy is important. So she just was jealous of the way that they looked. And I think she's a beautiful girl. Even when she's big like that, her personality is what make her nasty. She's so reserved. And then you ever had that girl? This is a perfect example.
hmm
You ever had a bitch in high school who really don't deal with you?
right,
And like, but now her daughter's selling Girl Scout cookies, and now she trying to act like y'all. Yeah, like that's the energy that she gives. Like, do y'all want to get some cookies? We cool. No, we weren't cool. Like you need something, so now you want to be cool with me, but you're so like normally you're just a nasty person. I don't want to deal with you.
exactly, and that's pretty much what it gives and whatnot. But I'm gonna say this before we move on to our next topic, Latasha. We hope for you and the rest of Escape that you guys work this out. Come out again, pump some more music, and give
Give
us
that
some
girl
great
her
art.
damn money.
And that too. Make sure you folks get make sure you give somebody their money. You know what I'm saying? Don't be stealing folks' money.
And I just want to tell Latasha, you can throw that gospel album in the trash until you make it right with your family. Because the gospel, if you think we are judgmental, what you think the Christian community feel like? They are definitely gonna be riding you like a donkey. You need to get it together. The charity starts at home, boo. If you want some people to ride for you, go ahead and admit you were wrong, pay this woman her money, and then go after everything you want, and you might have some success.
Look, exactly, exactly. And on that note, we're gonna go ahead and move on to our next topic, and that's with Miss Karen Huger.
Oh, this is so sad.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Real Housewife Karen Huger sentenced to jail for a DUI crash.
What is this picture? What is this picture? Because listen, the Grand Dame, I actually love Karen. I think she's a ridiculous person. I
Hmm.
think she's grand. I think she's everything that she is saying. I think she's the glue of that franchise. And it's saddening to see this because clearly there are some latent issues happening, like with her alcoholism or whatever that keeps impacting her. Because, girl, they let you off they let you off before. And for you to go out there and drink and drive again, something's wrong. Something is wrong with you.
But Jeremy, she recently had just told the judge that she had withdrawals from pills in rehab court. In rehab court plea, I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, let's be clear. If women of a certain status usually have, I mean, people of a certain status usually have some kind of vice. Hell, people without a certain status get a vice. So, people with money get vices too. So I wouldn't be surprised if she had some kind of addiction or something of the sort. But for you to not be able to turn it off at the jeopardy of your life and someone else's life, something's wrong.
Hmm.
And I wish her all the healing and the therapy in the world. But it's sad to see because she was the fun on the show. Lord knows I can't stand any of the other ladies on the show. That franchise is irritating. Candace, especially, I can't believe that's the first time she ever got her ass whooped was by that Monique girl. And Monique was the only one I liked, and she ain't even on the show no more.
Mm.
This is just, to me, I don't like this particular franchise. Wendy would have got drugged. All these people are just awful women. And this is why I say all the time, I can't be on a reality show. Why y'all want me around a bunch of bitches I really don't know and all we do is eat and fight? I don't want to eat and fight with y'all.
It's the
Sometimes I
eating and
just want
fighting
to
for
eat
me.
in peace. Every time we go out, we gotta fight each other. I don't want to do that.
Did you know though? Did y'all know that she basically had said that she didn't recognize the woman that she was during that time. But that was during the first one. That was during the first DUI. But then you go out and do it again. So my thing is, you didn't recognize the woman, but you're still doing the same thing as the woman that you claim that you don't know.
Unaccountability is unaccountability.
It really
This
is.
lady told the court that she was not only drinking, but she was taking antidepressants. And on the back of that handy little bottle, it tells you not to mix alcohol with these sort of medications, and do not drive a vehicle when you just on the medicine without no alcohol added to it. So she got off four different times, and if you'll remember, she fired her attorney when they first was trying to sentence her, and she hired a new attorney because they wouldn't agree to appeal the original decision.
Mm.
But she has been lying the entire season about what happened because she was trying to, I want to say, downplay it because she thought she was going to be able to have some attorneys who could rectify that situation for her where she wouldn't have to be in trouble. I think the only reason why she's so remorseful is because she got to take that ass to jail. And it is what it is. And I believe that it's no shade. If you got a problem, I just have an issue like this. When you have that kind of money, access to health care, access to things, it's not like you a underprivileged woman who can't afford to get the help. In these situations, you absolutely can. It's not like she couldn't have afforded to take a Uber. Then there was another situation during that night where she had another gentleman with her that she was cheating on her husband with.
Mm.
And why couldn't he have driven you home? Like there were so many different alternatives. And the judge straight up said the reason why she was not getting a pass this time is because she had 4 prior occurrences that she was not held accountable for. So at
Mm.
this point, she tried to say, "Oh, I'm sad about my parents dying, and they've been dead for plenty years. Hell, my dad been dead for only 2, and I don't think that I could use him as a reason for extreme behavior." You know what I'm saying? Like at 60 something years old, sweetie, you got to take accountability for you and do what you got to do. If you sad, get some grief counseling, whatever you need to do. But I think the cast just was mad because she lied the entire season about what actually
Mm.
happened, and they did not find out about the footage until after the rest of us did on the playback once she got charged, because she asked her attorneys to get that uh, um, footage removed from the court documents, and the judge denied that request.
Ain't that something that the judge then denied the request, but you sitting here trying to hide the press? But my thing is, the cats already know about you. You have already had one DUI, and then you go and get a second one, and this time you didn't sit here and crash.
And let me
Like,
tell you this, Effie, we all got pain. I say it all the time. Effie loves screaming about what's going on with her and why her world is so fucked up.
For sure.
Listen, Effie, we all got pain. We all got a reason to drink and drive, and we all have reasons not to. So your reasons not to have to always outweigh those reasons that you have, because we would be singing a different song had she killed someone, or had
right.
she killed herself, or had something tragic happen during that. We have to remember that this is not just something that would just impact her. It could really hurt so many people around her,
Mm-hmm.
and it's inexcusable. It's inexcusable. I think she needs this little time to sit down. And then she said she didn't recognize herself. We didn't recognize you either. This is a completely new bitch. This is the new facial features, all kind of new shit. So we didn't recognize you either, babe.
You sure did.
And I just think that I hate when these housewives. Why you on the show if you ain't talking about this? This is a juicy detail. You drink. I get that you are in litigation. I get protecting part of it, but you need to have your speech and you need to stick with it. But you just not saying anything is just irritating, because all y'all do is talk about each other.
Yeah, yeah, they do. They really do. And I think that's what I think that I believe, and it's funny that you just said that too, Jeremy, because I feel like that's the reason why she wanted to have that hidden from the courts, because she was trying to hide it from her castmates. But my thing is, they already know about you and your and your DUI issues, because you've already had one prior. So what are you
Four,
trying?
four
Oh, so she's had 4 DUIs.
before this one.
That just makes it even worse.
This is the reason why. This is what she wanted stricken from the record, because she has been lying to everybody. If you saw the reunion, they all was just like, "Are you serious right now?"
Hmm.
Because they were all pissed off. But I'm with Jeremy. This cast is really messy, and I mean, Karen was the fun one, but Karen just needed to keep it a buck. Like, I have a drinking problem for whatever reason. I got it,
Hmm.
and I need some help. But she did not say she needed help until the courts was like, "Oh no, baby, you ain't getting this dismissed." And then when they said she went to a supposed rehab, it was just like a luxury spa.
Hmm.
Girl, you ain't
Wow.
trying to get no help.
Wow. So the whole entire time she's supposed to be trying to get quote unquote help, she living it up. So what type of help are you really getting? Because you're not learning your lesson. You already had all these DUIs, so it's really not teaching you anything.
Well,
So
she only went for the media. You know what I'm saying? Like once everybody said, "Oh, you got a problem, you got a problem," then she was like, "I'm going into rehab," and then she went to that luxury spa and stayed in there for a while, just having the time of her life, and then got out. And if you'll see the episodes after that, she
Hmm.
was having drinks. At first, she was trying to pretend like she wasn't having drinks no more. Then after a while, she said, "Oh, I don't have a drinking problem, so therefore I'm gonna have a drink."
Now she knows she lied because how in the hell that you didn't had all these DUIs if you didn't have no drinking problem? Now, bitch, you know you got a goddamn drinking problem, and you sitting
But
up
the
here
only
having all these
one who
DUIs.
knew that is Giselle.
Mm.
You know what pissed me off? When
Mm-hmm.
her wig was tattered and raggedy and awful, she made immediate changes to address it and fix it. Now that you have a legitimate drinking problem, the effort is not there to fix it. Like when she was on that first season, her hair looked the way that it did. It was offensive. And this is even more offensive. Like, go and get your hair done. You got that taken care of.
Right.
Now take care of this because it's serious. And I think that Giselle, I like how they all kind of express their like sincere, it
Mm-hmm.
seems very sincere concern about her. And I wish her the best too.
Right. But here's the thing, though, Jeremy, that really gets me with this is that you know I like what Summer just said too. Yes, you didn't kill it. You didn't kill anybody this time, but all those other times you could have. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
you need some really serious help. I need you to stay away from the drinks. Do something else with your life. Stay away from the drinks. The drinking ain't working for you. You know.
And she called herself a social drinker. And I'm like, ma'am, even when you socially drink, you should have a limit. I consider a person having a drinking problem
Mhm.
if they continue to exceed their limit when they know it. Like me personally, I know if I have a drink, it depends on what it is. But
Mhm.
if it's anything that's hard liquor, two, and I'm done.
Right.
I know that for a fact because I'm going to sleep anywhere after that. I'm not going to do that and put myself in harm's way. And she's old enough to know better.
Yeah, she really is, and that's the unfortunate part on that. Karen, we're gonna need you to do better. Hopefully, during this time, like what Jeremy just said, during your time of solitude, you working on yourself and getting yourself together because we don't need you out here drinking and driving under the influence no more. Because we don't need you to possibly killing somebody because this time could possibly be somebody's death. So yeah, we need you to work on you. And on that note, we're gonna go ahead and move on to our next topic. We're gonna go ahead and move on with Megan Thee Stallion. My God, Megan Thee Stallion reportedly involving Tory Lanez in additional legal action. Oh boy, how many times we gonna go through this whole situation with her and Tory Lanez? Like, how many times are we gonna continuously go through this? Because it's like to me, it's starting to become a very never-ending story.
Get his ass. This how I feel. If somebody shot me, I ain't letting it go. I ain't letting it go. Somebody shot me. I for the rest of your life, ho. I want you to remember me. Because you shot me, then you lied about it. You had people dragging me. You had people calling me a liar. It does not matter whether she was drunk. It does not matter anything.
She
You
wasn't
shot
driving.
her.
Right. Yep. I mean that
I
is
like it. I'm never letting it go with her. Did y'all watch the special that she did on everything that occurred? That
Mm-hmm.
that really let me into a big part. Okay, first of all, y'all got to keep in mind Megan is tall, not old.
right.
This girl probably what 25. She's young as hell.
Yeah.
Number one. Number two, they tried to make her out to be a liar because when the situation, I'm just gonna do a recap.
Hmm.
Um, when the situation first happened and the police were called, she did not initially say that she had been shot. She told the police
Hmm.
that she stepped on a piece of glass. They still rushed her to the emergency room because of the loss of blood. Once she got to the hospital, the doctor told her, "You want to tell me what really happened? Because this is not the type of wound that a piece of glass can make. This
Right.
is clearly a bullet wound." Now, when
Mm.
she explained this in the documentary, she said she, because of the big problems that we have in America, she was not trying to have this black man killed by the police by because in a way, even if she was, not getting along with him, she still cared about this black man and did not want to see him harmed. So she did not, she said, out of fear for him and herself, as them all being black people in the situation, she did
Hmm.
not even want to mention a gun was involved because if you look at the footage, she was the first one to get out of the vehicle with guns drawn on her, and she was the
Mm.
one who was injured. She had to lay on the floor and be on the ground and be handcuffed. Okay, so if
Wow.
that wasn't shown, I mean, if no one saw that part. But then in addition, once she got her interview with
Hmm.
Gail King, see, this is what I don't like about when things happen to black women, okay?
Hmm.
The first thing, well, not the first thing, but the first point that Gail was trying to make was, "Oh, did you and Tory Lanez have a sexual relationship?" Sweetie, we wasn't in the middle of sex when I got my foot shot off. So do I need to give you a rundown of everybody I ever gave it up to for me to be considered vindicated as a victim? Like,
Yeah.
either way it goes, if you shot me whether we was having sex or if we were not. That
Exactly.
didn't really have nothing to do with it. That might have contributed to the argument that she had with him that night. But I don't care what I say and how hurt you are about what I have said. You do not have the right to just shoot me because you
Hmm.
don't like the conversation. He had several other options. Put her ass out and tell her to call another Uber ride. He could have got out, caught himself another Uber ride. But see, in this industry, people like to flex their ego a lot. And
Yep.
so he was making a point to her to shut the fuck up, whatever the case. And he shot her ass. Now she said that the shooting was an accident. But either way, when you playing with deadly weapons, to me, that's not an accident as a grown ass person. You don't wave a loaded gun around or make any type of indications you're gonna shoot anybody with no gun unless your
Right.
life is in danger. So that was completely out of line. And then now even Joe Budden on his talk show, they were asking about this the other day, and they wanted to make it seem like, oh, she's a liar because of the lies that she told. Number one, I would have probably been nervous to say who I slept with too, because I'm already being drugged in the media. So I might
Hmm.
not want to say, yeah, me and him slept together, because they were going to have some way to spin that to make it seem like she was only accusing him because she was a bitter, like a sore loser type of thing because he was messing with Kylie or whoever the other girl was in the car.
Hmm.
And it wasn't even about that. But like I said, he has continued to harass her, even though he's locked up. He's done had his family or connections of people send bloggers different fake information like sex videos and all that type of stuff about him.
Wow.
And so he's locked up. She's just saying, hey, anything that obviously she had enough proof because she won the case.
But here's
So,
another thing, though, fam. But here's the part right there, and I want to say what you just said right there because that goes right along with what you're saying. So basically, thanks to the shade room, want to give credit to where credit is due. It was previously reported in December 2024, Megan Thee Stallion requested a restraining order against Tory Lanez, claiming he was committing defamation against her from behind bars. Additionally, Meg claimed Lanez paid blogger Elizabeth Milagro, I hope I'm saying the girl name right, Milagro Cooper, to spread defamatory defamatory statements about her online. So that goes right there back to what you was just saying, fam. But here's another part to it though, too. Although Lanes denied the allegations, Megan Thee Stallion was ultimately awarded a 5-year restraining order against the rapper in January, according to TMZ. Megan is now hoping to depose Lanes and question him about his alleged online campaign to spread misinformation about her. However, Lanes, a member of Lane's legal team, has reportedly reacted to Meg's deposition, asserting that Lanes hasn't agreed and isn't obligated to answer any deposition on the matter. That's crazy.
Imagine somebody shoot you and then still put you through hell. Like that is just, I
Period.
mean, what more can you do to me? Like this is just absolutely awful. And I know it's in our other topic too, but just
Mhm.
like the human experience that some people have to endure is just so beyond me. I would be a nut. Because imagine your country is at war, your family, friends, and colleagues, and everybody you've ever known dying, and you got to go sit
Mhm.
and meet with Donald Trump. Just, God, how much can we bear? And that's how I feel about this too. Like she had to go through. Imagine being shot and attacked by somebody you shared an intimate relationship with, and then
Mhm.
they try to poison everybody around you to make it seem like you were in some way wrong, and then they try to still harass you afterwards. Megan, get his ass. Get
Right.
his ass, because everybody ain't lying on you. Everybody ain't lying on you and what you did. You know, I say that every other week. My mother says it all the time, and I carry it with me. Everybody ain't came together to lie on you. Now,
Nope.
you may get a few bitches who just gonna say some crazy shit to make you look crazy. But everybody has not come together. We can't even come together to decide where we want to eat at. We can't even come together as a country. You think all these people that came together to lie on you? No, it's the truth. This is what happened. You shot that big ass girl, and then you let her go through all of this scrutiny for what? And then you still picking at her. You ought to be shamed. Oh,
It's the audacity for me that you still harassing her behind bars. Like
That's
and
what we like to call a sore ass loser. You know what I'm saying? You mad, like it ain't her fault you shot her. Uh
right.
and she don't owe you silence. Like we gotta stop that in the black community saying nobody should snitch. Let me tell you something. Stop doing fucked up things to me and I wouldn't have to tell everybody about it. But if you
Exactly.
shoot me and then not only shoot me, y'all saw the song he made about it, right? And the video
No.
that
What,
went
so
with
he
it.
mm-hmm.
so he made a hold on. So he made a song about this situation.
Absolutely. And he was making all the references. The girl he was riding around in his car was like looking like her. You know how they do like lookalikes, how Eminem
Yeah.
did when he was talking about people. Uh he was at the butcher shop with a big old leg, like and he was chopping the leg up and making all these references about what he gonna do to her.
What the
Baby,
hell?
I would have even tried to sue to get that song from being played. You
Right.
take
Like
that
I
what
hope
down
it was
too.
worth it. I hope you enjoying your time in Booty Town.
Right.
I hope you
You a
getting some
new
good dick.
man.
I hope you writing
I
some
was about
good
to say that.
music. I hope you chilling because you did that girl wrong. And until you do right by her, you ain't gonna see heaven.
Everything in your life gonna fail.
Hmm. You could
exactly.
tell how some people are just used to being held up even in their wrongness. My mother raised me by saying, you got to be able to admit when you're wrong. Even
Mm-hmm.
in your wrongness, be able to say, you know what, I made a poor decision. I was wrong. Your father and all of these other people holding you up after what you did to this girl. And then they trying to say, as if her sexual history or her alcohol consumption in some way condemns her. None of this exonerates you from attacking this woman. I don't care how drunk
Right.
she was. I don't care how much of a host she was. I don't care about any of that. It does not give you license to
That's
shoot
right,
her.
Rachel. That's right.
But we need to let that die. We need to let that snitches get stitches thing go away at this point.
Let me tell you, you
Because
do some
don't
shit to
do
me,
the
I'm
wrong
telling.
thing. Thank you, Jeremy.
I'm
Because
telling.
let me tell you something. If it's between me suffering in silence and it ain't even like you can afford to pay me off, so I don't need to worry about nothing for the remainder of my life. You ain't even doing nothing for me. Gonna let me sit in jail and rot while you live a good life because I want to stick by the code.
Right.
The new code is fuck with me if you want to, and you gonna find out.
Period.
Period.
Period. Tori, get your life together while you're in prison. Another one. You and Karen, get y'all life together while y'all are both in prison. And when you get out, stop stop doing the same shit that you constantly keep doing to get your motherfucking asses in there in the first place. So
Mm.
we about to move to a topic that we was trying to get to last week, which is it's a very crazy topic. I've never even known that this was even a thing that could happen. Um, so entire police department put on leave after grand jury recommends its abolition. I I'm like I said, this one kind of shocked me. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't even, like I said again, I didn't even know that this was a thing. This police department, I'm gonna look it up or whatnot, but you guys give me you guys' opinion um, and thoughts on it as I'm going ahead and getting the information so then we can go over it. Don't everybody go at one time now.
I think I don't know, it just hit me real hard right now. I am just so exhausted with racism.
Right.
It's just so heavy and carrying it around all the time.
Hmm.
It's just so heavy. And then seeing how deeply ingrained and systemic it is just not the entire police force. Like, just my God. And then the worst part about it is we have to endure people telling us racism is over. And we had Oprah and Obama, and we should be moving forward. And it's so hard to do that when at every step there's a shackle still on your foot and it's designed in a way to make it seem as though nothing is there.
Exactly. But
It's
here's the crazy part though,
exhausting.
Jeremy. Here it is right here. Here's the foolishness with this story. A grand jury said the Hanksville Police Department, which had 8 officers as of August, has recently operated as more of a criminal enterprise than a law enforcement agency. Like that is just highly insane. So y'all out here just committing all type of crimes.
Mm.
It's like-
Let me give
so
you some background.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, so in 1865, that's when Alabama ratified the 13th Amendment, right?
Hmm.
Which abolished slavery. That's when they abolished slavery, 1865.
Hmm.
Okay, so in 2022, we just gonna skip ahead. 2022, Alabama voters approved a new state constitution that eliminated a loophole that allowed slavery and involuntary servitude as a punishment for a crime.
Mm,
The amendment also focused on involuntary servitude in Alabama prisons. So, just to be clear on what I'm saying, in 2022, from 1865 to 2022, they were still allowed to lock people up for whatever good you black on a Wednesday reason.
mm,
And their punishment would be involuntary servitude. So
mm,
they're cleaning the roads, they're doing whatever they want to do as labor, but it's still slavery. All right. And then in 2024, Imprisoned workers in Alabama filed a lawsuit to abolish involuntary servitude in the state's prisons. And that lawsuit seeks to stop forced labor and declare certain state laws unconstitutional. Which
Mm,
this is a great big thing because it's basically saying, hey, I really didn't want to get rid of slavery, but I can't openly say that or do that. So
hmm.
what I'm gonna do is find any reason. Your tag out, you going to jail. Now you got to fix on A, B, C, and D. You know what I'm saying? Like any little thing. So I'm really excited that they are breaking this down because in all honesty, the South is really bad about coming up to speed with black people having their freedom. And
Exactly.
I don't think like a lot of states and small towns rely on the fines that they get from arresting people off of little of nothing to build up their town and cities. So
Right, right. And that's a lot of going on because there's a lot of that happening here too.
absolutely, especially in the smaller towns. I know it
Hmm.
happens in Marietta, honey, and they ain't small, but I'm just saying, they do this to build up because otherwise they would not make the money in a different way to be able to build their town up or keep their town even thriving.
Hmm.
So I really do think it's a great time to shut them down. Um, and I would say, let's just empty it all out and let's start over and hire all new people. And I
I
do
agree.
believe also that since this has been a thing for so long, that we should do psych evaluations for people who are wanting to go into the police force to determine if they have the mental clarity to
Hmm.
be able to identify who is a threat and who's not a threat. And that cannot be based on skin color.
Exactly, exactly. I totally agree with you on that. But here's the thing, though, with this whole thing. So it's stated also too, the mayor of this of a city in Alabama has placed his entire police department on administrative leave a day after officials announced that a grand jury had recommended that the small department be abolished, saying it had operated as more of a criminal enterprise than a law enforcement agency and is an ongoing threat to public safety. Jim Sawyer. Jim,
I mean, I'm just overwhelmed at life right now. Like everything in the news is just wild. Not the police department is a criminal enterprise. My lord.
And it ain't even news. That's the saddest part. It's not even it's not even surprising. It's like this is what everybody expects, and that's why nobody really felt like there was anything to do about it. But I do believe all the heat that's coming down on everything else that's going on in the world right now has drawn light to it. And I
Mhm.
thank God there's a some sort of ways somehow that they're going to address it.
Exactly. And that's the thing that really got me here. So the mayor of this town in Huntsville had said about 3,200, roughly 45 miles north of Birmingham, said in a statement Thursday evening that after an effective meeting with Coleman County Sheriff Matt Gentry, all employees of the police department will be placed on administrative leave effective at 5 p.m. on that Thursday. Sawyer said all 911 and emergency calls will be routed directly to the sheriff's office, which will provide all law enforcement services to the city of Huntsville. At a news conference Wednesday, Coleman County District Attorney Champ Crocker announced that a grand jury had indicted Huntsville Police Chief Jason Shane Marlin and four other officers, as well as one of the officers' wives, on various charges, which included tampering with evidence as part of an existing corruption investigation. You know what? Not you did arresting the wife. You did arresting the wife.
Baby.
What's going on, Trey?
What
Hey
up,
Trey,
Trey?
Not you that arrested the wife.
lock everybody up.
Just that's why I said just spray some roach spray in there, put some damn bombs in there, blow that whole thing up, and then just get you some new folks.
That is
Some psych
crazy.
evaluated people.
That is crazy. Like
No, it
I
ain't starting to sound like dirty cops straight. It is very much given. We have proof they dirty as hell.
this story is wild. This story is wild. I mean, I have never seen anything like this. But you know what though, Hansfield? Get you a new police force. Work on your new police force, clean house,
Me
and
too.
please make sure that y'all's police force is not out here causing crimes and being a menace to society. And make sure that the people, when they call the police actually is coming to serve and not be the people of the the people that they calling for.
May I make a tiny suggestion to the world as well?
Yes.
Um, if you see these times where people like starting with Alabama, they are going to have to let a lot of people go.
Hmm.
Us new age Black Panthers or Black Panther enthusiasts, if you look at the history, they came about not just to fight white people. They
Hmm.
came to actually protect and serve their communities. That's what they were there for. They gave back, they fed their communities, they
Hmm.
looked out in multiple ways. How it got violent was due to they wasn't gonna take no shit off no white folks. So they started whooping their ass. Okay? So what I want to see, if at all possible, is some of us that can qualify to be in law enforcement to go ahead and overwhelm that law enforcement with people who actually care about the community. And I'm not saying that's only Black people, but we need more of us who are not trying to just be on the white man's team.
Right.
Yeah, massa, whatever you say, because I want to be liked. I want that to be where we flooded so that when we're sent to our neighborhoods, that we know what kind of neighborhood it is. We're not discriminating against our own neighborhoods, and we're actually doing what they agree to do when they swear into being a police officer, which is to protect and serve their community.
Exactly. I totally agree with you. All of that right there. Because at this point, you're supposed to be to serve, your community, not out here causing crimes and chaos. That's just that is some crazy stuff. I thought Cobb County was bad, but damn, y'all got them beat. Y'all got them all the way beat. You had to abolish the whole entire police department. Yeah, so Hansfield, get it together. We're gonna go ahead and move to our final and last topic of this evening, with this orange piece of crap that of a some wannabe president. Orange and Zelensky's meeting turns into a heated argument. Now, this right here was very this really pissed me off. I'm not gonna lie. This right here really pissed me off. The way that this meeting went, I was very fiery hot about this whole thing. So for those that didn't get a chance to see that, which I'm pretty sure everybody did, we're going to go ahead and play a little bit of the exchange of what took place at this crazy meeting. So here it is right here.
It's going to end the destruction of your country.
Yes, but if you are
Mr.
not
President,
strong...
Mr. President, with respect, I think it's disrespectful for you to come to the Oval Office and try to litigate this in front of the American media. Right now, you guys are going around and forcing conscripts to the front lines because you have manpower problems. You should be thanking the President for trying to bring an end to this conflict.
Have you ever been to Ukraine? Did you say what problems we have?
I have been to.
Come once.
I've actually watched and seen the stories, and I know what happens is you bring them on a propaganda tour, Mr. President. Do you disagree that you've had problems bringing people into your military?
We have problems.
And do you think that it's respectful to come to the Oval Office of the United States of America and attack the administration that is trying to prevent the destruction of your country?
A lot of questions. Let's start from the beginning.
Sure.
First of all, during the war, everybody has problems. Even you, but you have nice ocean and don't feel now, but you will feel it in the future. God bless.
You don't know that.
God bless. God bless. You will not have a war.
Don't tell us what we're going to feel. We're trying to solve a problem. Don't tell us what we're going to feel.
I'm not telling you.
Because
I'm
you're in no
answering all
position
these
to
questions.
dictate that.
That's
Remember
exactly
this.
what
I'm not
You're
dictating.
in no position to dictate what we're going to feel. We're going to feel very
you will
good.
Feel influence.
We're going to feel very good and very strong.
You will feel influence.
You're right now not in a very good position. You've allowed yourself to be in a very bad position, and he happens to be right about it.
From the very beginning of the war.
You're not in a good position. You don't have the cards right now. With us, you start having cards. But right now, you don't. Yeah, you're playing cards. You're playing cards.
Serious.
You're gambling with the lives of millions of people. You're gambling with World War III. You're gambling with World War III. And what you're doing is very disrespectful to the country, this country. It's back to you. Far more than a lot of people said they should have.
Have you said thank you once?
A lot of times.
No, in this
even
entire
today,
meeting, you said thank
even
you.
Today.
You went to Pennsylvania and campaigned for the opposition in October. Offer some words of appreciation for the United States of America and the president who's trying to save your country.
The disrespect for me. Disrespect.
Get out my mouth. The levels of disrespect.
Yeah.
I don't know. He has some good what you call it, self-control. Because the little devil in me would have slapped the hee-haw hell out of both of them. You don't come have a conversation with me where you and another person think that y'all can dictate to me what goes on in my country when he asked him specifically, have you ever even been in my country? Well, we've watched videos because that's the truth. You know what I'm saying? What the media shows is clearly the truth. So I watched enough videos to know. It's the level of ignorance that's being displayed here, and it's trying to be representative of this nation because this man is in power right now. But many of the people who have voted for him are on the internet crying about their regret.
Yeah, they are. They definitely are.
It's just like, how can you? I felt so bad because you could see how defeated he was. It's like they brought him there to attack him.
Yeah.
And he's already at war. Like, his country is at war, and they have been for such a long time. It was so demoralizing to see us behave in that way.
Mm-hmm.
And then him have to endure it because he needs our aid to survive. You know,
that was
him
the part that
having
got
to
me. But here's the other part, though, Jeremy. Here's the other part right here, though, Jeremy, is that you could tell that it was set up because just like what you just said. Because why was Russian state media invited into the White House to cover this?
I saw that. Then they said it was a mistake. He wasn't supposed to be there. How did somebody get into the White House that wasn't supposed to be there?
Rachel.
Honey, get out that makeup and then talk.
Right. That's the part right there with me, Jeremy. That what got me too, because I was like, why was Russian state media involved? And you claimed that they were not invited, but they were there, and they lingered around as long as they did. So to me, I feel like Trump invited the Russian media. Him and Vance invited the Russian media, because how is it that they got cleared to be in the first place? Because you have to get cleared to be in the White House or even be in the Oval Office.
Is them overtly lying to us? Like, they overtly lying, saying they had no idea that this Russian, like, come on. But let me tell you one thing, and on a note of hope. This is not our first time entering into this realm of conservatism. I think it is the most extreme it's ever been. But the studies have shown after this realm of like conservatism, we are going to enter into this new era of peace and this new era of liberalism and understanding and inclusivity. We just got to make it through this. Because there is an ebb and a flow, a peak and a valley, a yin and a yang.
Exactly. But I want to say this on your behalf right here, Jeremy, and this carries to a really good point right here. They said that Trump is rushing his agenda because he fears he may not survive his term.
I don't think he's going to survive it either. But let me tell you what's shocking to me. There is no. What can this man do that he hasn't already done? Where is the line? Where is the line? I don't feel like
Exactly,
I do
Rachel.
feel like a lot of these people have been who were so gung ho supporters. Now that he's in there, I feel like they've been very quiet.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like a lot of them have been very quiet not since it happened. But God bless everybody involved because I've been so disconnected. I can't even do it.
You know what's funny though, Jeremy? A lot of his supporters are now coming back and saying that they are wanting to rescind their votes. There's been a lot of that, and also too, a lot of them are saying that this was the final straw for them when he's going about trying to take their Medicaid, their food stamps, their Social Security, and things of that nature. They was like, it was like that was the final straw because they said this is not what we voted for. We didn't vote for you to take all of our rights from us. We voted for you to fix the issues that we voted you for.
No, they voted for elitism. They voted for
Hmm.
selective discrimination. That's what they voted for. And
Hmm.
when they realize that they are not a part of the 1%,
Hmm.
that they're going to be up for discrimination too, now they want to rescind something. But it's too late.
It's too late.
It's too late.
And this is part, this all the way goes back to, I've heard, like, I've God has been so good to me, honey, because
Amen.
what
Amen.
the things
Amen.
that I have not got on the internet and replied to has let me know just how much I have grown, okay?
Mm, mm,
Because
mm.
there's a guy on my page who was mad that we were boycotting, saying you Democrats are stupid, blah blah blah. Like, no, we're all human beings, and
Right.
we all do have the right to vote however we want to vote. It is our
Exactly.
personal right.
Exactly.
Now, that aside, I want to speak to the Latin community. You are niggas to white people, okay?
Hmm. Hmm.
And the reason why I'm saying it like that is because it's not to be offensive. It's just to say white people do not like you. This group, I won't include everybody, it's to not be unfair, but the
Hmm.
group of people that believe like he believes only believes in one thing: rich power and white power.
Hmm.
Okay? And they understand that they cannot allow us to recognize that all of our us as minorities need to rally together and vote according to our needs, because if you are not rich and fall into that 1 percentile of very wealthy people, he was not talking to you, he was
Exactly.
not fighting for you. And we've got to understand, even no matter if you are Republican or Democrat, the agenda is bigger than us,
Hmm.
all of us. So a lot of times, no matter whose side you're on, there are going to be a lot of your needs that are going to be overlooked no matter what they say to be elected. And the reason that is because they know what they are supposed to be saying to push an agenda that says I'm on your side. But in
Hmm.
the history of politics, the only one I can say that actually cared about black people, and this skips over Obama, so you can be mad, but be mad over there, is Jimmy Carter. He
Yeah.
has done quite a bit for the black community and doing a lot of things for black people. And we have not had anyone in office who was fighting for equality and things like that the way that he did, and went on to talk to, he knew his neighbors, he knew the people in his community personally.
Hmm.
How many politicians on either side can you say know that or do that or care? Now, I'm not saying, Trey, that Obama didn't do anything. Don't misunderstand me. What I am saying is, even with Obama, some of the choices that were made and passed through him, not to say that they didn't throw a lot of things out because he was black and they didn't want to give him no credit. They set
Hmm.
him up to fail, and we understand that because he's a black man. They were never going to let him get a real good shine. But what I am going to say is besides being in the front light or in the spotlight saying things that sound good, Jimmy Carter actually was in his community making a real difference. And
Mhm.
that can be proven. I'm not saying that because you know, think that or just want to be on somebody's side. This is history is fact. And I also want to say to the people with who are on Trump's side, talking about how he gave up his richness to be president. If you ain't stupid, then you're dumb. And if you ain't dumb, you're slow. Because he ain't gave up nothing. First of
Nope.
all, being the president means that you are guaranteed a specific amount of money for the duration of your life. Okay,
Mhm.
whether your term is over or not. What he did was it was a good business decision, which was he applied for a job that he could entertain people enough to convince them to appoint him for that so he could have dictatorship and keep the money coming in, because best believe this man ain't trading to be poor. And I want to also say this to you Trump supporters, since you think he's so patriotic, let's talk about why he did not uh if he was so patriotic and cared about this country and blah blah blah, which I'll say he wants to make America great again. Well, when America was being great and they were drafting people into the war, Trump didn't go. He did not serve this country. Yet he's going to put us in a position where a lot of us,
Right, Trey.
especially men, are going to be right are going to be drafted without consent. If another war happens, they will be drafted to have to fight in a war that really we should be sitting this one out as black people. But not only that, the same man who's going to put you in war refused to serve. And I just want you to think about that the next time you call this man a patriot.
Exactly. You said, "Oh my God," you said that, fam. You said that because that is so true right there. But the disrespect gets even worse. We're gonna play this last video, and then Jeremy, you give your piece, and then we're gonna try to close it out or whatnot. But here, this part right here really pissed me off. Listen to this part.
Wait, my second question for President Zelensky. Do you ever? Why don't you wear a suit? Why don't you wear a suit? You're at the highest level in this country's office, and you refuse to wear a suit. Just want to see if you do. You own a suit?
Yeah, you have problems.
A lot of Americans have problems with you not
Really?
respecting.
I don't have
the
such.
office.
I will wear a costume after this war will finish.
Okay.
Yes, maybe. Well,
Maybe something like this.
like yours. Yes.
That'd be great.
Maybe something better. I don't know. We will see. Maybe something cheaper than. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Jeremy, you can go ahead.
Well, I said what I had to say. I said it earlier and I said it again. We can move on to the next topic because
I want to say something on this part right here before we move on, because that pissed me off. You're gonna disrespectfully ask that man, does he own a suit? You bitch. You gonna sit here and ask this man, does he own a fucking suit during a wartime? Do you realize during World War Two, I'm sorry, um, during that time, if I'm not mistaken, the British Prime Minister of that time, Winston Churchill, didn't wear a suit. So
I mean, but also you talking about the White House being respected by someone wearing a suit. Elon Musk doesn't wear a suit ever,
at
really.
all.
So I mean, what's the point of this?
Elon Musk is also not an American. But
Exactly.
yeah, he making hella decisions for
And flying
America.
around on our tax dollars on Air Force One.
I just think that they're petty and they're going in there like school age children trying to diss somebody about an outfit. First of all, it's not like he showed up in a raggedy t-shirt and some sweatpants. The man had on an outfit that was presentable, but you want people to dress like Americans because you're very confused about what looks good, just like Americans have always done when they went to steal other countries and steal everything else, because this was built on theft. Let's keep it a buck.
Right.
And you want to go somewhere and say, oh, we wear this, so everybody should be wearing this, or they are uncivilized. And that's the problem with America. Who the hell are you to tell somebody what they should be wearing to a press conference? I'm not from your country. If this is a decent wear for my country, then I'm going to wear what I'm comfortable in, especially when I came to a place where everybody was coming to bully me. I'll wear what I
Right.
want. He should have showed up in a damn Speedo with nipple rings on.
Right. But here's the thing that really pisses me off though too with you guys. And then we're gonna move on because I know we are running out of time. But here's the part that pisses me off with this is that again, y'all say a lot of things in private, Republicans. Y'all say a lot of things in private, but you sit here and say, "Oh, I don't agree with Trump on this. I don't agree with Trump on that." But when you up in front of his face, you're such a bunch of spineless cowards that you don't say what you really feel that you've been talking about behind his back. But you always are constantly bullying somebody. You always constantly bullying somebody. Right? It's giving good boy country club. Right,
And it
right.
is, because this is the white agenda. I'm not, we all know what country we living in. It's the white agenda, and it always has been. The
Mhm.
good old boys are trying to get it back to where white supremacists are in control so that they can discriminate against everybody else and seem like they are the higher, you know, people here. But
Right, it's like the upper echelon or something like that.
exactly. No, you're not.
Mhm.
And actually, since all the Hispanics are here, they're actually rising as one of the number one minority groups, even above us, that are coming up here lately.
Exactly. I would say this. This has been a complete shit show, continues to be a shit show. And as time goes on, I feel like there is gonna be a potential uprising. I do see it on the horizon, especially with them constantly attacking Social Security. I do see that on the horizon coming because I know a lot of people, including my grandmother, has already stated that if they take her Social Security, she will be marching to DC. So there and Elon Musk just attacked Social Security again just now. Just it just came to my phone. So they're on the premises of basically demolishing it. And also too, I do want to make this statement before we go ahead and move to your mental health moment, Summer. Um, for those that are on Social Security, um, there has been word from the former commissioner of Social Security that in 30 to 90 days, it will collapse due to them firing half of the Department of Social Security. So, if you can, I'm not sure if you can save money with Social Security because a lot of people that are on retirement are not able to save with Social Security. But if you can save, start saving now because between in 30 to 90 days, it is supposed to collapse. And that's what they want. They want it to collapse so then they can start trying to privatize it and basically suck it dry because they want to be able to take the money from it. So they want to take our tax dollars, the money that we've worked so hard into it, and put into it and basically take it and make it theirs, which is sad.
It ain't gonna be sad for people who gonna get that money under the table.
Exactly. Exactly. And that's sad for people like my grandmother who'll be 90 in May. That's just so unfortunate because she's not able to work. She's not able to go back to work. Yeah. So I just thought I would share that for, people that have family members or parents that are on retirement or in retirement and that's going to be potentially happening in that amount of time. But we're going to go ahead and move to our final thing of the night. So we can go ahead and close out our show. We're going to move to Summer's mental health moment, which is something that we do need at this time. So, Summer, let's go.
All right, everybody. So again, I love the mental health moment segment mostly because it's the silent killer, like I always say. Um, but we hear a lot of things on the news, and we like to bring you guys awareness to what's going on in the world and what's going on around us that we might need to be preparing for. But it's also important to learn how to manage the anger, the frustration, the uncertainty, the fear that we might have about the upcoming 4 years or what's going on with our country. So today I would like to focus on just making time to spend in quiet and solitude. Get off media. Don't watch the news. Don't have too many political conversations. Let's take, whether that's 5 to 10 minutes, pull yourself aside, put on something that doesn't have any lyrics to it. Like you can, if you go on YouTube, there's several different meditation type of music things that you can play. Spend 10 minutes in just quiet, not asking God for anything, not telling God what you don't have and what you need, but just to ask for mental clarity and help with managing the stress of what's going on in the world. Because if you are a believer, you should always keep in mind that this is a matrix. This is something that we do have control over as far as what we do and what our destiny is and what life looks like for us.
Mm,
And I'm not saying this because I'm so great at doing it. I just understand that it's a big deal and that we all need to take a moment to sit down and have that quiet moment where we are focusing on our inner being, healing the things that hurt us, releasing things that don't serve us, and just understanding that everything in this life is temporary. So I'm not going to spend any of that time focusing on being angry, being frustrated, being anxious, being scared, thinking that God is not going to help me. If he can help a bird find a meal, if he can help a worm eat, if he can help a stray cat find meals at somebody's back door, the same can be done for us because aren't we bigger and greater than those? So if the flowers can eat and survive, if the trees can stand and grow, then certainly he's going to provide for us. And so that's what I want us to know, that take that time, make yourself a priority. Instead of getting up the first thing in the morning and
mm.
checking your social media or checking the news or seeing what's happening in the country, check in with God, check in with your higher self. Set an intention for your day, set an intention for the things you want to hear. And when somebody comes to you with some negative stuff that is not going to be for your greater and higher good, shut them down. Just say, hey, hold on, I can't hear that today. I'm on to something else. If it's not building me up, if it's not uplifting me, I don't want to hear it. Okay. If you do that, I guarantee you'll start feeling better, start having some gratitude about what it is that you do have, because you could be on the streets, you could be homeless, you could be hungry, you could be dead. So if
Mm.
God gave you the opportunity to be here today, try to shine a light, give a smile, and do something to build yourself up and hopefully somebody else as well. Okay? And that's my mental health moment.
Amen. Amen. I love it. I love it. I love it. That was good. And that is something that we all need, you know. That is definitely something that we all need at this during this time. Because yeah, we in some trying times. So anytime that we can get a mental health moment, especially from summer, we take that. So I definitely do appreciate you with that, Summer. Do we have any
Great
announcements?
point, Summer.
Yes, definitely. What's so? We have any announcements, you guys? Anybody got anything they want to announce before we close out?
Not me.
Summer, you good? You have anything on that?
Actually, I just wanted to again point out, thank you, Rachel. Like, we got to get our prayer lives together. We can't be living in fear. But anyway, I wanted to point out to you guys. I thought I had a copy of my book with me, but
Yes.
I do want to also put that out there that How to Love Me is not about how to love me. It's how to love you yourself. And it's a 30-day journal that is out on Amazon. Yes, temporarily that's where it will be, but I would love to get some copies made so that you can purchase directly from this black business person here directly. And the books are $11.11, but you can also order them digitally on Kindle for $9.99. And this is a 30-day journal that helps you to learn how to master yourself, master your behavior, your attitude, and also learn how to love yourself better and give yourself the things that you need so that what you are spreading into the rest of the world is positivity and true love, so that that can be reflected and others can learn how to love themselves just by being in your company. So please check that out, and I will give the link so you guys can go and support if you'd like to do that.
Yes, yes, yes. Make sure y'all support our Black Queen here. We got to make sure that we support our people because, if ain't nobody else going to support us, we definitely should always support us. So, make sure that you guys go to Amazon. We'll make sure that we have the link so then you guys can go ahead and purchase my girl's book. Always make sure that you always be inspired and uplifted. And she always going to make sure that you guys are definitely that. With that being said, we're going to go ahead and make sure to subscribe, like, and share to our channel, The Extraordinary Network on YouTube. Also, you can follow us on Facebook as well, which is the same thing, The Extraordinary Network. You can also follow us on Instagram, Xtro Unplugged. And get caught up with your latest news. You can go to our story because that's where most of our news with politics, trending topics, entertainment news, whatever we post on the story. Make sure that you stay up to date on that. And until next week, we hope that you all stay uplifted, stay encouraged, but most of all, stay extraordinary. And until then, we hope that you all have a very, 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 very extraordinary night. And may God forevermore bless you all.
Amen. Next time, folks.
Yes, indeed. Have a great night, you guys.